Hi, all. I'm Zain from Flipkart's University Relations team, and I'm glad to welcome you to the second podcast as part of Flipkart's Runway Talk series, where we'll have last season's runway participants talk about their experience and share tips which will help you to get on the runway to success. We have with us today Parveen, who is an undergraduate engineering student specializing in industrial design from NIT Rourkela. She had participated in the first edition of Flipkart Runway in 2021, bagging an internship opportunity, one among the 23 students who were part of the cohort, and also went on to bag a third year internship as well, thanks to her performance during the first stint. Welcome, Parveen.
Hi, Zain. Thank you for the introduction. I'm really excited about being a part of this series and I'm ready to answer your questions.
Great, good to know that, in fact. And I'm sure there will be a lot of questions for you from the audience as well, which we'll collate after the podcast goes live. However, for the audience, let me set the agenda. In this edition, we'll be covering Parveen's internship experience at Flipkart. Plus, she'll also be giving tips for students who are going to land for the first time for their summer internship at different firms across. So today's session actually has value for not just people who are interested in runway program, but in general anybody who's going for an internship. Coming back to our main agenda, the first question for you, Parveen, is: was this your first internship experience, or had you interned somewhere else as well?
No, like this was my first internship experience.
Okay, and this being a virtual internship, how was it overall? Right from say onboarding to allocation, interacting with mentors, as well as the final closure. How did it all happen, and what was your experience?
Yeah. So basically, this was a virtual internship. But to be honest, the onboarding was really smooth. The team was friendly, and post the induction, we had a short boot camp, which gave an overview of Flipkart and even had sessions on product. So we even had ex-Flinterns interact with us and guide us on important areas. And like after the boot camp got over, we were asked to give our preferences on which areas we would want to work, like front end or back end, and the associated tech stack. And this was probably the deciding factor for assigning us to the teams.
Correct. In fact, I do remember being part of those sessions as well, and it was one of the first virtual internships for us as well. The first time we were hiring interns who were in their second year, and I'm sure it would have been an excellent experience across the board because you ended up bagging an opportunity for third year internship as well. So maybe what you can tell the audience here today is that how was it for you overall? Which team did you get assigned to? What was your project all about? And anything else that you want to share?
Basically, the internship experience was really great. Starting with, we were assigned to teams in group of 2 to 3 members, and I was allocated to the Tiger team. So, like as the name suggests, it was like when I was assigned to this team, I got really excited for the name. So, this is the team which is a central engineering team focused on managing and implementing strategic cross-functional projects. So, my work was basically on backend web development, and it was focused on developing an automated patent system. So our mentors gave us project overview and involved us in all the meetings and even gave self-learning resources for learning tech stacks. We did a user study on what problem employees were facing while raising tickets for patent filing and brainstormed on possible solution. So the solution finally zeroed in was to make a Hangouts bot. So we worked out on figuring out the basic commands that needed to be included in the bot from the user's perspective and configured them in Google Cloud Platform and then worked on making the bot. So basically, the tech stack we used was Node and TypeScript, while Docker was used for building and deploying. However, it was not all work. We had like fun activities and session as well as to keep the tempo high. So, and the best bit that I really loved was that even though me and my peers were interns, right, we were involved in everything, like right from architecture design to planning and implementing, we were involved in everything. So we were given the freedom and responsibility akin to a regular flipster. And so that was the point that I really loved about this internship.
That's great to hear. And I'm sure that's one of the many reasons why students should aim for an internship at Flipkart via the Runway program, because it gives them that early opportunity to interact and meet uh, fellow engineers who have been in the system and who can act as guides. I'm also keen, however, to know how was your day-to-day structure like, right? What were the activities, work timings, mentor support? Because as an intern, I think these are the questions which are on top of the mind when or before starting the internship. That how will it happen? And these could be relevant for people aspiring to be interns at Flipkart or across the board as well. But at least what was it that was for you? If you can share, that will be really great.
Okay, like talking about the work hours, they were really flexible. Like in companies, we have a 9 to 5 kind of culture, right? But in Flipkart, this was not the case. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of culture. The key is to ensure that we are delivering on the commitments we made. So, like the group's mentor used to have Friday fun session as well. So, apart from the work thing, we also had fun sessions too. So, there were instances when our group had issues, and that's where the team was very supportive and guided us. Like it never felt actually like an intern, and that's one of the reason why I choose to accept the offer for another internship stint at Flipkart in 2022, because there was no line between interns and FTEs. We had sessions with the FTEs every Friday, so this was really amazing. And
Okay.
coming to the challenge part, like the main challenge that I faced was with virtual machine. Like due to infosec guidelines, it was a bit restrictive. We were facing some permission issues, but I hope this year I get to go to the office and like we would not face such issue
Yeah, I
anymore.
remember virtual machines did have their own set of challenges, a bit heavy on bandwidth as well. And that was something that I hope this year the interns don't have to experience. And if everything stays well and we don't have a fourth wave, hopefully we'll have all the interns coming into office, if not for the entire duration, at least for some time. So fingers crossed on that. And now coming to the last question for you, Parveen, and that's the most important one within this podcast is what is your message to students who are going to join the respective firms for the summer? Some of them could be second year, some of them could be prospective runway flinterns, some of them might be third year or even fourth year people going for their internships. Any key messages that you have for them which will help them perform better and grab those?
Yeah, yeah. Like for the upcoming Flinterns, I do have a key messages for them. Like starting with, firstly, you should be a good listener and communicate well. Like it's important to voice your thoughts, be punctual, and honor the deadlines. Like the deadlines are the most important thing in Flipkart. You have to respect the deadline and stick to it. You have to complete your work within the deadlines. And secondly, like, keep your mentors updated with your work. Plus, like you can also share any problems with them and don't wait to be approached. Like Flipkart values include bias for action, so it's a strong part of Flipkart value. So don't stay silent at all. If you have any problem, just go and share with your mentors, and they're like always ready to solve your issues. And coming to the third point, so like during project building, I was ready to take up any task. So that's what I would like encourage the Flinterns to do. Don't find excuses for completing your task. When the deadline comes closer, you might have some like you have might have to give some extra time. So be ready and willing to do that. Like whenever you face any challenges, don't give up easily. Try your best to tackle them. And like to wrap up all the things, like the key messages for the upcoming printers, like Flipkart values your hard work more. So try to give your best efforts during the period. Stick to the deadlines. So show passion towards your project and don't think it like it is just an intern task. Be punctual to meetings and take the most advantage of the exposure and networking that you will get in this Flipkart internship. So this will cause you and give a high chance of getting PPI for the third year.
Thank you so much, Parveen, for joining us here and sharing your experience in detail. And the messaging will surely be useful for students, is what I feel. Also, hope to see you soon at Flipkart, and all the best to all the aspirants of Flipkart.